Wonderful. And let's get our agenda. Sorry, guys, I accidentally just closed the agenda. Hang on a second and open it back up. Slip of the hand. All right, here we go. All right, good morning. If you have not already, please put your name and site location in the chat. And welcome this morning. Happy Friday. We are here for the 21st Century Directors Meeting. Agenda is up. If you would give me just a quick thumbs up if you can see it, please, so that I know. Thank you very much. All right. I will let you take it away, Vic.
Wonderful, thank you. Okay, our first order of business is I need you guys to get me an estimated carryover to me by May 8th, because they up the deadline for me to get contracts in. So I need to have your estimates for carryover, and that will save us a ton of paperwork. So you do want to get those in. And also, I'm going to need that new unique identifier number. Last year, we had sent out a couple of reminders about it, and we didn't have any issues with those who applied this year with providing that number. So if you don't have it, check with your business office. I think that they automatically knew about it and got one of those numbers, because it replaces the DUNS number. So if you don't have one or something, make sure you contact me. But I have to put that on the new contracts. So that's a couple of pieces of information that I'm going to need to get your new contracts out. And if I don't get it in to the contract, your carryover, you can still do an amendment, but we have to do a formal amendment. And let me tell you, that's not easy. You have to fill out a form. I have to fill out a form. We have to have that documentation to change something that's already in the system. So I don't recommend it. It took until December to get a formal amendment for carryover through our system, because we've had at the DE a lot of turnover too. So the easiest way is just send me an email. Now, I don't need exact numbers. I said an estimate. So let's say that you're looking in CASA and you're thinking what you're going to have for your May and June expenses. And you might say, well, I think I'm going to have 20,000 left carryover. And you do a few more things in summer school in June than you anticipated, and maybe you've only got 10,000 actual available to carry over. Well, if I've got that contract in place, before your new allocation goes into CASA in August, I'm going to check what those balances are. And even though you may have the ability to carry over 20,000, if you only have 10,000, that's all that you're going to get that'll go into CASA. So, like I said, it's an estimate right now. And I encourage all of you to go ahead and get those in so that we can have a smooth transition, and I can get those contracts out right away. Another good piece of news is that the last competition I've got everything done. I'm just waiting for approvals. But I will say this, that we go in rank order. So the only grant that had to get a funding cut was the very last one, according to rank order, because I simply ran out of money. And that happens. But other than that, I'm just waiting for approvals to be able to send out those emails and post the award notice on the DE website. So things are going very smooth. Okay, the next one is site visits. I have done 8 so far. I've got a couple more to go. And it's been nice to be able to do a few in-person visits, although most of them have still been virtual. It does save us a lot of travel time, and plus I only have so many hours in the day, and I've got a lot more work doing the finance and things like that, especially with us being short-staffed, although we did get a few more people coming in. So I'm hoping that by next year, we can get back to normal on the site visits, and we can once more start up with the comprehensive visits where we do a series of meetings. That's always good. And the APR window, I've got to get out of here because I have notes on all these things. Okay, I sent out an email for the APR window. The very first window is going to start August 3rd, and it'll run to November 1st. And you're going to put in activities, staffing, and participation. And you're only going to do that once. Some of you can remember, we used to have to put in the same data 3 times in 1 year. Now we're doing the data once. And then the second window is outcomes, and that's going to be from November 10th to March 13 of the next year. Okay. So it's going to take us a little bit of getting used to, but I think that we've got some positive things in the new system that's going to be making our lives just a little bit easier. Okay. And along with that, what I want to explore, I've got a bid coming out that I just sent in this week. That's going to be, I have to rebid the Iowa After School Alliance contract. And then after that bid, I want to do a bid for statewide software so that we can collect APR data. And I don't know if the software will put it in for us. Maybe we'll send out a survey and try to get a couple of you to that are using software involved in this process to define an RFP for that. And I think that'll make things a little bit easier too if we're all using, one statewide system. A lot of you have been asking me about registration. Here is the secret link that you can click on and register for the summer symposium. The website still says that it won't be until May, mid-May, that they get it out, but they've got it out now. So there's the link that you can use to get in there and get your registration in for the summer symposium. So another good piece of news is next year's allocation for our grant is going to be $7,402,720. That's what's available for the programs. And that's more money than we had last year. That's always good. And also coming up in the fall, we're going to have some support visits from the Alliance. We're going to bring those back. We're just not going to call them site visits. Because they're, if the Alliance sees something that's not correct, they can't write you up or, though, so it's just their only purpose is to help you with professional development and make sure that you have access to all the resources and information that you need. So it's a support visit. And that's a good thing, because I think that was very well received by you guys out in the field. And okay, I got a thing from Paul Hayes. Says he's not getting emails, him and Derek. If you guys can send me an email, let me put my email in the chat. Just send me an email, and then I can copy and paste your email into my distribution list. And also, you want to sign up for the Iowa After School Alliance mailing list. They have a monthly newsletter about all things after school. And a lot of times I have small grant opportunities that I will send it to them for their newsletter. And some of you have applied and received different things from these grants. Okay. Heidi, you want to talk about the PD committee?
Sure. And
And
if you were on, what's that?
And a new webpage.
Yes,
9 and 10.
and the new webpage. If you were on the last PD committee meeting, please feel free to pipe up. But we talked about our next Impact After School Conference, which of course will be here before we know it, coming up this fall. We talked about a variety of things, keeping some things the same, making some changes. We kind of agreed that we enjoyed the change of pace at the zoo last year, but we're going to go ahead and bring it back to a hotel conference center this year. Elva and I are currently working on finding some options and choices for a location for us that will be comfortable for the conference and also provide a block of rooms for those who are coming in from out of town and have enough space for everybody to be comfortable in the breakout sessions as well. We have considered some different keynote speakers. I'd please love to ask you if you have any ideas for keynotes or for session presenters. Please send them to me and Elva, and we'll make sure we add them to the list for vetting. And we're looking at the end of September for our Impact Conference, potentially the first week of October. It really will come down to what's available for space, and but most likely it will be that last week of September. We also talked about the opportunity of offering a Saturday session for people who are looking for childcare licensing credit. So for your kind of direct staff people that might not be able to come during the school day or during a weekday, they could potentially come to a Saturday session. Now we've not decided on that. I really would like to get feedback from you all on whether or not that's something that you'd be interested in. Obviously, it would be, a bit of an expense and a little different than we have done in the past. So we would want to make sure that it would be something that people would be interested in and think that their folks would want to participate. I'm going to stop talking here for a second and just open it up. If anybody has any thoughts and feelings about that, I'm seeing some contemplating faces. Please speak up and let me know what you're thinking.
Heidi, I have a question. This is Dawn from St. Mark, not specific to the childcare piece that you talked about, but and if you said this already, I'm sorry that I missed it. Curious when a decision will be made for sure on the dates, and then
Mhm.
Another question that I forgot, so maybe while you answer that, I'll remember my second one.
Yeah, the date decision should be coming very, very soon, Dawn, like within the next few days here.
Okay, perfect. And then, is there a formal application to be a presenter on the IAA website?
There is not yet, but
Okay.
there will be. We'll do a call for presenters, like we've done in the past, and not for keynote though. For keynotes, we kind of decide that as a committee, and then we'll reach out to those people individually. But as far as presenting goes, there will be a call for presenters. And you'll have to put in, you know, the idea of what you'll be doing and all of the kind of the details that go around the presentation. We've also talked about bringing back those, I don't know, for those of you who have been to Impact before might remember the lightning round sessions. So we'll have one portion of one day that'll be like short presentations, and it'll be more encouraged for people from the network to present. So instead of, you know, having to put together an hour and 15 or something like that, it could be a 30-minute kind of best practice presentation, and those will move quickly through that afternoon. And we'll want, you know, people from our own 21st Century Network and from the state to present at those. Did that answer your question, Dawn? Were you thinking about like session presentations or keynotes?
Just want to know for sharing with the team, not keynote, definitely.
Okay.
Was thinking about the session presentations, and then I'll just give you my gut reaction to the Saturday thing is, I totally understand why you would do it on a Saturday because it's hard to have direct service providers gone during the week.
Right.
As the one who oversees the budget and thinking about, but you still are trying to get a team there and a team home. And so does the whole team have to stay for that Saturday? Because you have mileage that you're paying for, and I'm not saying you guys say they have to stay. I'm saying it's all additional, you know, if you're either going to make everybody stay if they're driving together, or
Yeah.
you're sending some people on their own. So just a gut reaction to it, but I don't think there's any good answers to trying to get direct service people what they need.
Well, you're exactly right. And that's kind of the feedback that I'm looking for, really, because, you know, it's on both ends. Like, okay, it's the expense to the program provider, you know, to you guys for paying your staff time, keeping them here, etc. And then also on the other side, it's like, okay, well, you know, we have to rent the space, do the food and all that kind of jazz for that day. And it's, if there's a huge, you know, need for it and people really, really want to do it, then we'll make it happen. But if it's kind of a meh, then I don't know that it makes sense.
Thank you.
Thank you. And I just want to read what Vic had in the chat here. Many of you are doing great activities with children. We want you to apply to share best practices. Absolutely. Dates are subject to the hotel availability, and best practice sessions will be a priority. And Saturday, if we do it, would be optional. Oops. And yeah, the point of offering the Saturday was for those of you who are licensed may remember the ISACA conference that happened on a Saturday every year, and got those licensed folks a big portion of their childcare credits that they needed for the year. That group has disbanded. There is no more ISACA. So we are looking at, you know, being able to kind of fill that void for providers. I will let you know too, and this might kind of help shape your feedback and thoughts on that. Elva and I are working hard on developing some virtual program PD sessions as well that people will be able to take for credit. It's not something that we're going to be able to roll out right away. We may be looking at some quarterly opportunities to start with, you know, maybe 4 opportunities for the year. But then as we continue to roll them out, we're hoping to be able to provide something every month as a licensed option specifically for before and after school folks. That's, you know, really relevant to what everybody is doing, and you know, a little different than the kind of normal HHS provided PD. So make a note, that's coming. And if you're not, if you're not comfortable talking on the web, right now, and you want to email us, or you want to call us, or you want to join the PD committee, just to join a meeting or two. You don't have to join forever, but you could just log on with us to share your thoughts and be part of the planning. It'd be great. If you've ever been part of planning a conference before, it's really difficult to please everyone and make everybody happy. And the best way that we can make the most people happy is by hearing from everybody what they need and want. All right, Vic, anything else you want to add about the conference?
I think that we're fairly well along in the conference. And I'm looking forward to it. I think since we switched to September, I think it's been a little bit better than having it in the spring.
Good. All right, well, if there's nothing else, or if you think of something, it's okay to blurt it out. But if not, I think we'll go ahead and move on to sharing our new in progress webpage on the 21st Century website. So I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing, and I'm going to let Elva share so that you can see what we're talking about.
Let me know when you can see that.
Yep, we can see it. I'm sure you're very familiar with this website. If you've been around 21st Century for very long, you might notice there's a new tab at the top. It's called Start an After School Program. Of course, all of you have after school programs already, but this is more of a comprehensive web page for folks that want to start something, or potentially those programs that are looking for sustainability after your 21st Century grant sunsets, or just a way to kind of diversify and be able to offer more access to kids in your community. So you can go ahead and check it out, but there's lots of different resources on here, from brand new people who want to just get into starting an after school program with curriculum resources, to those folks who might want to look at creating a licensed center through HHS. Creating a licensed center, it can be a little bit tricky, but if you follow all of the guidelines, you can certainly get there. And one wonderful thing that we have in our favor now is that we've got Elva on the team, and she's a bit of a childcare assistance guru. So if you have questions about how to, get parents connected with childcare assistants, or you just want kind of general information about how to create a licensed center, you can check out our website, which will have lots of resources available, but also direct you to the places that you need to go as well. And one kind of important thing that I wanted to share is that we are wanting to highlight some different programs on our webpage as well, and show some different models of how after school works in different communities, whether it's a 21st Century program, someone that uses a lot of community partners to come in to be able to provide opportunities for kids, a business relationship that a program might have, or licensed childcare as well. So if you would like to have your program spotlighted, I'd love for you to reach out to me and we can talk about what that might look like. And you can be immortalized on our webpage forever. Any questions about this, or, Vic, anything you'd like to add?
Yes, one of the things that we wanted to do was point out other ways that you can fund an after-school program beyond just 21st Century. And this webpage is going to address that, not only showing the HHS funding, But we're going to showcase some after-school programs that are completely community funded, and then some of them that are a blend of maybe 3 different kinds of funding. There's a lot of different ways to make after school happen. And we wanted to have like a one-stop shop here that it'll be very valuable for folks that have never done an after-school program and folks that maybe have an after-school program and want to improve their funding stream or take a look at additional resources.
All right. Oh, and there's the unique identifier again, Vic. Okay, well, we're at the point of the open agenda. Vic, and anything that you would like to add or anything that you are needing to hear from the network?
Well, I'm always open, to suggestions, and we have been working on this webpage for a while, and it kind of got started a few years ago, and then the folks that were working on it left, and seems like with all the staff transition, it's not always easy to move things, forward the way you want. But anyway, we've got some pretty important projects going. This webpage, and then this summer we're going to start up with looking at doing a bid for software for 21st Century. So those 2 things alone are going to be pretty important to operations on the program. So and any of the committees, they're all open meetings, so you can go to the iowa21cclc.com and take a look at the different committees, and if you want to just drop in, they're talking maybe about something that you're interested in, feel free. I mean, you're always welcome to any of those committees. Nothing is, closed off. We operate as a community of practice, so feel free at any time to drop into any of those meetings. Oh, one more thing. Our new grantee staff transition, we've got 2 things, 2 presentations with tons of resources for summer programs. So even if you've been around for a while and running a summer program, you may want to check out those downloadable resources on the iowa21cclc.com website, because there's literally hundreds of activities specifically for summer that you can take advantage of. And it's all free. That's about all I have to say while the recording is on.
All right.